M3.
Welcome to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast,
M3.
the #1 resource for automotive sales professionals, managers, and owners
M3.
to learn how to make money, accumulate wealth, and to all out ball out in the auto industry. And now your hosts, Sean V. Bradley and L.A. Williams.
1, 2, 3, 4,
M3.
All right, what's going on, everyone? This is L.A. Williams, Vice President with Dealer Synergy and the Blind Master. And I am here with, of course, the one and only Mr. Sean V. Bradley. What's going on, Sean?
What's up, brother? How you doing? I'm ready to rock. I'm excited about today's show.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We've got a very, very special guest. This gentleman, man, I'm telling you, he's just an inspiration to us all. Y'all think sometimes I'm an inspiration. Y'all be like, oh, LA, you blind. How you do all that stuff? Man, I'm telling you, it's nothing compared to what my guy, Sebastian, has done and is currently doing. Y'all know we bring folks to you that are doing stuff. So I got Sebastian, man. This gentleman was selling mops and things on the corner in Arizona for years in the heat. I don't know if y'all have cold down there, but it didn't matter, rain or shine. He got up and did what he had to do to feed his family. And the gentleman's totally blind. Here's the thing. He had a dream of selling cars in the automotive industry. He wanted to be an automotive sales professional. And so our other co-star, Mr. Tim Brown, I don't know how they got connected. We're going to get the entire story. But, man, they got connected. And now Sebastian's selling cars. He's doing his doggone thing, man. I couldn't be more proud. I want y'all to do me a favor and put your hands together for the one and only Mr. Sebastian.
What's up, Sebastian? I'm excited to hear this because, again, LA is the first blind friend I've ever had. And my whole perception about blind people has changed, knowing LA over the last decade and a half. And I'm super, excited to hear your story. So LA, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell it. So is because it's a hype. It's a bunch of hype. It's a bunch of articles. And is that stuff actually true? Let's start there.
No, it is not true. I'm not that good looking. A lot of people say, this is wonderful. And I go, ladies, don't focus on how I look.
Yeah. So just tell us the real deal. How did this all come to be?
Okay. In 2015, I had a couple of babies. Well, my son was born in 2013, my daughter in 2015, and I didn't have a way to keep him in diapers and formula. So I apply here, I apply there. I couldn't buy a job, so I decided to bring brooms and mops from Mexico. That's what the blind people do in Hermosillo, Sonora, Mexico, to survive. And lo and behold, I started selling pretty good, making what I thought was good money at that time. And it has paid my bills since 2015 until now. I bring the stuff over the border from Mexico. I deal with transportation, permits, agents,
customs, all that kind of stuff.
All the good stuff. Yeah, any mobster will tell you it's not an easy job.
I like that. He called it a mobster, right? Instead of
That's hilarious.
So, yeah, exactly. So tell us, so are you because now, there's different levels of being blind, right? Me, I'm totally blind, no light perception, none of that type of stuff. What type of level of blind are you?
I have what they call light perception. I can see shadows. But if you ask me, I'm blind as a bat. And they go, a flying bat? No, a baseball bat.
Okay, cool. So gotcha. So you can't see light, can't see some shadows, but other than that, people be hitting those with how many fingers I'm holding up type of thing. They do that kind of crazy stuff.
No, right? Definitely not. I mean, if you are a B or a double D, I cannot tell.
Awesome stuff. All right. So tell us about this. You said you had a dream of being an automotive sales professional. Tell us about that. Where did that start?
I have sold anything and everything that has crossed my hands to sell. Popsicles. I own my own popsicle cart. I've sold blankets in the winter here in Arizona. I've sold buckets of paint if someone said, hey, Sebastian, I got 10, 12 bicycles that I don't know what to do with, bring them over, I'll sell them. So I have that belief that I can sell anything to anyone, anywhere, at any time.
Let me jump in.
I love cars. I
Sebastian,
absolutely love cars.
question for you.
So this is where I'm at right now, combining my two passions, my passion for selling and my passion for cars.
Sebastian, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so question is, where did that come from? How old were you when you first got inspired to sell things? And was it just out of necessity and just to be able to survive? Or was it something that just interests you? Like, I want to try to isolate that moment, if you could recall, when you were like, oh man, selling is good, it's fun. You know what I mean? When was that?
I must have been 8 or 9 years old. My sister is a baker. She loves to bake, but she cannot sell. So she would send me out to the neighborhood because, hey, who's going to slam the door on the blind guy?
I love that. I love that, man. So it sounds like it was born just out of a desire to help your sister. Is that right?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, so now here's the thing. This is the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. We're live streaming in the Millionaire Car Salesman group, right? So everybody want to learn about what about selling cars? What about selling cars? But we're gonna stop a moment. We're not gonna go there, right? Because I heard you say something that is really, really powerful. You said, my sister, she can bake, but she don't know how to sell. Because so many people think, oh, if I can do a thing, then I can just go ahead and sell the thing, or they do a thing and they have trouble selling the thing and they can't understand why. And your sister did something really smart. I don't know if she asked you or you just volunteered, but she got someone else to do the. Can you kind of just talk about the differences between just doing the doggone thing and what do you do special that your sister doesn't do?
Actually, I am more talkative. And I don't let people bargain with me. My sister has a heart of gold. You'll tell her, I would buy your cookies and take them to my grandma who's 77 years old and she hardly ever gets any cookies. And my sister will be like, oh, okay, take them. It's cool. I'll make more. And I'll be like, hey, then take some extra. Your grandma might not make it tomorrow.
So the question I have on that is, I think that a lot of people fear selling. They feel, some people feel dirty, like they literally do. They feel like they're shady because they're asking somebody to buy a product. It sounds like you have a lot of confidence and you don't have a fear of offending somebody. You don't have a fear of asking to sell. Am I correct? Or do you believe that some people have an anxiety or fear for asking for the sale?
It's like dating in high school. I was blind and I was half deaf, Mexican, no money. And I had a ton of dates because all I had to do was ask. If they said no, then I went on to the next girl.
Wow. I need to talk to my son. He's in high school right now. He needs a little advice.
I can give him any blind date tips anytime.
I love it.
The blind date. I love that, right? It's pretty doggone cool, man. So this is really interesting. All right, so let's talk about this automotive stuff. First of all, Tim, can we just talk to you for a second? You there, Tim?
Certainly. You can.
Thank you, Sebastian.
Right. So Tim, how did you hear about Sebastian? How did that thing happen from your perspective? Can you break that down for us? Now you're a dealer principal, correct?
We've got yes.
Okay.
I've I heard of it first. Actually, a neighbor of mine called me, and I don't have any social media. I have zero social media. Sorry, guys, but I have none. I don't have Facebook. I don't have anything. And so he called me and he told me what Sebastian's deal was and that it was his dream to sell cars. And would I hire him? I said, you got a guy that is selling brooms on the corner that his dream job is to sell cars. And he's been successful selling brooms for a decade. Why would I not hire him? And so he said, so we set out to go find him, and he wasn't at his usual corner yet because I didn't know. I guess they were doing the news thing with him, but it was from a phone call from a neighbor.
Wow, that's powerful right there. And so, all right, so talk about this. So tell me about your business before Sebastian came apart. You got how many salespeople you got? How many cars? Just kind of give me a quick profile of the dealership.
Carry about 80 to 100 vehicles in inventory, used car lot. I've got four salesmen. I've got a gentleman that runs a lot. We've got a service department. Been in the industry my whole life. My brothers are all in the industry. We all kind of work together. They've got 3 lots between them. My father's got a new car dealership. I run this specifically. This is my partner and I, but between all of us, we get it figured out.
How many total salespeople then?
Excuse me. Here at this location,
yes,
there are 4 salespeople, including Sebastian is 5. So we've got 5.
5 salespeople. And what do they average a month, unit wise?
Unit wise, everybody averages around 10 to 12 units a month.
Okay.
Selling anywhere from 40 to 60 cars.
The grosses must be incredible because of what's going on with the world, right?
You know what? They have been. We probably over recondition our cars, but we resell a lot of the same people cars, just the same. Don't spend a lot of money in advertising. We've been in the Valley. I'm 4th generation. Take care of the customers. Yeah, the gross profit is there because, asking for it. But at the same time, I love that statement, asking for it. Funny story on that later. But grosses are fine. I wouldn't say we're so big on making gross as much as a fair profit and taking care of people because, I don't know, they turn these cars every 2 years.
Before you heard of Sebastian, did you ever, as a dealer principal, ever even imagine hiring a blind person to sell cars for you?
Wasn't something that I thought of, I guess. Not necessarily. No.
No, and it's not a bad thing because before I met LA, I never thought about hiring somebody who's now a partner in my company being blind. I don't know about you, but I'm going to tell you a quick story about me. When I first met LA, I was like very cautious, like he was a baby, you know what I mean? And then he got mad at me. Like, you ever see Herman Munster? Because he's a big dude. I'm a little guy. I'm only 5'5". He was like Herman. He got mad. He's shaking. He's like, I could do stuff. I could do anything you could do except see. And when he said that, that stopped me in my tracks. As soon as he said to me, I could do anything that you could do except see, I was like, all right, game the F on, let's go. And from that day on, I've never, ever treated LA like he was blind. And it's been the most incredible aspect of my business is having him on the team. Can you share what your experience was? Because that's kind of radical to hire a blind person at a dealership, because dealers think liability, they think insurance, they think about this, they think about that. Did you think of all that stuff, or were you just so impressed with them you said, damn all that other shit, I'm going to hire him anyway? Or did you have to work through that as a process to make the decision?
So I'll be completely honest, the decision was immediate, but I also had the fortune when I was younger, actually in elementary school, I actually took care of 2 blind children that sat in front of me and behind me. In elementary school. I didn't learn a whole lot in 6th grade because Braille writers, as Sebastian knows, are extremely loud.
Yes.
So I understood actually the incredible talents of it's like a lot of people ask, hey, what do you? It's like, hey, he's blind. That's it. In fact, he's probably a lot smarter than you are. I guess it's frustrating to me that people don't, or I'll go see people go to shake his hand and not understand that he's blind. And I do understand some of those things, so I didn't have to kind of go through that. I felt bad. I feel bad watching things because people don't understand he's blind. That's it. And so I guess I understand that. So I was probably a little luckier than yourself with your first introduction.
But to your point, though, it's been the most incredible thing to watch. I feel like LA is like a superhero sometimes. Sebastian, for example, one day, it's a true story. I was dialing the speakerphone. I was dialing my wife, and I don't even think of like the tones, like when you dial the phone. He turned around and said, oh, you're calling Karina. And I'm like, how do you know that? Because it's like 9 numbers. And then I thought he was just lucky guess. So then I went live stream on Facebook. It's a true story. And I was playing a game. I said, okay, what's this number? Boom, 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 boom. And he said it to me just from the sound. I mean, like just certain little things like that. The Sebastian's like, that's nothing. That's not a big deal. But to me, a sighted person, that's a very big deal because I can't do that stuff. I can't walk in a supermarket and touch a package of Oreos and know that they're freaking Oreos from the package. And I'm like, Does Sebastian, do you do stuff like that us sighted people think is like pretty like amazing?
When it comes to product, yes. The phone numbers, he's more talented than I am. Doug, my partner, when I came in, he says, "Hey, how are you with callers?" I guess he wanted to test my ability. I'm like, frankly, I'm better with boobs.
That is hilarious. You got I'm gonna tell you, you got a good sense of humor. And I think that's what part of sales is just having a personality, being able to have a conversation with somebody, be able to make somebody, feel comfortable, try to build a common ground. So Sebastian, I got some questions for you. What is your sales advice? What is your sales strategy? So let's just say I'm an up. And what franchise is it, guys, that you're at?
Used cars, all used cars.
Independent. Okay, so if I come into the dealership and I'm looking for a pre-owned 2019, Chevy Silverado. So I'm coming in and you up me. Do you have a particular sales process or a road to the sale that you follow each and every time, or do you react differently to different people?
I react differently to different people. I think we are here to fit the customer with whatever works better for his needs and whatever works better for his financial needs. I don't think we want to cripple anybody by making them spend more money than they have to spend. And I don't think we want to fit someone into a Mini Cooper only because I'm missing a Mini Cooper in my quota when they really need a minivan for the children.
So do you, I respect that. And I don't disagree. Do you have at least like a flow? So if I come in, what is it that you're trying to do first? Are you trying to qualify me and then do a product selection and then go to the presentation, or kind of share with me like a scenario? Give me an example of how you would engage a prospect and take them through the sales process.
No, actually, I take him out. I take him out to look at the cars. I don't know if you qualify. I don't. I guess I should be considering it first and foremost, but I want to get the customer in love with my cars, well, with Tim's cars. But I do. I bring him out. I tell, hey, would this work for you? Do you like this color? I mean, I think this car is pretty cool, but I'm not seeing the colors. Do you see something I don't see in this car that you may not like? Look at this trunk. Look at, you can fit your mother-in-law in there. Look at this back seat. This back seat is more comfortable than a Cadillac's, man. And so if they are not responding to me, then I hit on the brakes and be like, okay, so what is it of this car that you don't like? And they might say, well, the price tag. Oh, it's no big deal. If it's $14,999, it'll be $15,000 by the time we're done. Don't worry about it.
That's pretty good. So what I hear you saying is that you definitely use humor in your sales presentation.
All the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And then here's the thing: you're still relatively new to the business. When did you first start selling cars?
Okay, for Tim, I started selling cars 2 weeks ago.
Right,
but
that's what I meant.
Cars for myself. For the very part of the last 15 years, I would buy a car, I would, get it fixed up and resell it, or at one point, I even raffle off a car. I'm a passionate for cars, but I think I'm a little more passionate for money.
There you go, right? And so professionally here, like in the dealership world, you've been selling for 2 weeks. So, all right, so this is kind of cool, man. So I want to know what you've learned so far in these 2 weeks, like, because obviously there are some things that you've done differently when you were selling it by yourself as to now when you're at a dealership. What are some of the differences?
The importance of credit, the importance of a down payment, the importance of 2-3 points in their credit report, or if they had a repo, that kind of thing. It's more paperwork than anything. I mean, that's what I've been learning. That I had no clue what a repo does to your credit. I had no clue. So that part, I have been asking a lot of questions. And I ask a lot of questions of everyone. The mechanics, the guy who's in charge, my partner who's selling with me, I think I've even considered a question of asking how much the dealer is worth. And my guy goes, the supervisor goes, "Why, you want to buy it?" I'm like, "Well, not yet."
I love it. Yet is the key word.
Yeah, of course.
Everything's for sale.
Everything's for sale.
You guys are right. Go ahead, Sean.
No, this is fascinating to me, but I do have some questions, for the dealer. Bringing him in, he obviously he didn't have formal training. What are you guys doing to get him, to understand the rules of engagement as far as like the road to the sale, the proper, strategies to qualify a prospect using customer worksheets and going through each of the road to the sale steps? Do you have a formal training program for him yet, or?
No, in fact, to be real honest, he's brought so many people in doing what he's doing. I don't know if you've watched him on any of his, Tater Tots, where they do the short videos.
TikToks, you mean? He might mean TikToks.
TikTok.
Hilarious.
He does
great.
He does the TikToks. Those are first takes. He's never, I don't think he's done 2 takes on that. He does one in English, one in Spanish, and they're amazing. He's been so busy, to be honest. Hasn't been a whole lot of time to train him on a road to a sale. It's kind of they come in, here's the car they like, and he sold it for what the asking price is. So, what do you train right there at this point?
Yeah. The power of social media. Yeah. The power of social media, the power of branding, right? This is the kind of thing that we talk to people about all the time. So we definitely want to learn a thing or two from you, Sebastian, about what specifically you've done. I mean, who set up your TikTok channel? Like, how in the world did you get, because people that have all of their senses be like, oh, TikTok, I don't know, Instagram, I don't know nothing about Facebook, I can't do that, right? And here you are doing all of that stuff. So we're gonna have to learn some of that stuff, Sean.
There is a guy that the dealer has somebody working that is doing all the posting for me, but I produce my own videos. I write my own text. I send them, like, for example, over the weekend, I was at a retreat in Mexico, and I was playing soccer with the kids. I was playing mechanic bull on top of a trampoline. I was playing pool, and I was sending all those videos to the guy, and he puts together collages of videos, and he makes me look like a genius, but it's not me. I just act.
But he doesn't have to be, though. You're the talent. Do you know what I mean? So again, this is what LA was. Just like your sister wasn't the sales expert, you were the sales expert. This is the reverse engineer. You might not be the video editor or the video genius on this, but you're the talent. And I think that's a lesson right there, is that we don't all have to do everything. We just need to know somebody or be able to have somebody on our team that can do what we're not uniquely skilled or qualified to do.
After these messages, we'll be right back. February, the month of commitment. It's over! Bradley On Demand has gone March mad! Dealers and managers, are you tired of long-term commitments and contracts? Well, this month, for the first time in the history of professional automotive sales, you can get access to the best training, tracking, testing, and certification platform with no commitment.
We've never done this before.
Not sure if we ever will again. So if you want to jump on and jump off Bradley On Demand at will, then text the 2 words "no commitment" to 267-551-6279 or email Tiana at dealersynergy.com with the words "no commitment" in the subject line. Do it now and you'll be able to one day sing this song. I'm the Millionaire Car Salesman. I'm a millionaire. Which happens to be the name of this podcast.
And I think where I fit here is what Tim was saying about the videos and the TikToks. I don't think any of his salesmen can do a video like I can. They might look better than me, but I'm working on that. I'm fattening them up with tamales and green chili meat and all that.
Yeah, man. But listen, life is a team game, right? As soon as people understand that, I think that everyone would do better, right? Because listen, everybody say, oh, football is a team game, and oh, the team, and you got to be willing to do this. But they forget that life is just as much of a team game. Everything that happens to me and everything that I've got going on, man, it affects each and every person I have around me. So, man, I'm telling you, you're on fire when it comes to that. So you need to break down to us. So how'd you find this particular person, and who else do you have in your corner on your team?
My wife picks out my clothes, make sure I look okay, make sure I don't have any stains.
Mine too.
I tie my own ties, but other than that, she's on top of the ball. So whenever anyone says, "Wow, Sebastian, you look great," it's not a compliment to me, it's a compliment to her. She goes and chases, my clothes and all that.
Love it.
It's how'd you look? People treat you for how to look sometimes.
I got to iron though. She'll pick them out, but I got to do the ironing. You know what I'm saying?
No, I do too. I got to do my iron. My wife couldn't do as well of a job.
We in the same boat. All right. So you got your wife with the clothes. She's the fashion designer, right? You got tell me about your TikTok guy. Who's that?
His name is Mon, and he's hired through the dealer. I don't know what he gets paid.
Okay.
If he gets paid, he might be dating Kim's daughter. Who knows? All I know is that he helps me with my videos.
So Tim, you provided him with mine?
Yes. And Mon came to us actually, and I'll be honest, I really don't. I've got to see, I absolutely understand the importance of social media within your business. In fact, the last 10 years, I've been extremely frustrated with these young men that don't understand the importance of it. I told them if I was selling cars again, I wouldn't take an up after 6 months. I promise you. I would never go look for a customer after 6 months. Sebastian came along. It has been such a natural, and his want to do is amazing. He and Doug the other day, speaking along these lines, they needed to go do a video, and Doug started to, let's see, I need to, and Sebastian just, what else are we doing? Let's go now. Let's do it. And it's really good to see his tenacity in his do. I think it's, and I can't speak for him, but you can speak for it. I guess being blind, there's always this, and so can you, LA, a want to do if you can't see to go and do. And so I guess it's pretty cool to see how much he wants to get things done when other guys that have got greater abilities don't understand what they've got, I guess.
It's better to be proactive than to be reactive.
Yep. I would agree. Let me jump in and both of you guys, let me just share something with you. I don't know how much you know about us and LA, but LA's background, I pulled him out of the music industry. LA's a major producer. He's the only blind certified Pro Tools operator in the world. So he was a major producer and he worked with people like Dr. Dre, Beyonce, Katy Perry, Lil Wayne with official credits. He was also the voice of Jigsaw in like 4 of the Saw movies, which is pretty insane. So I'm referencing this for a reason. In the entertainment industry, if for record labels, the way that they make the decisions if they're going to sign people, not all the time, but a big chunk of it is not just if they could sing or dance or shake their ass, because there's a lot of pretty people out there that got talent, but do they have an audience? Will people buy your music? Will people stream your music? Will people buy your tickets? So what you need to do is build that audience on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, if you want to get a deal. If you look up, you might not be able to see this, Sebastian, but Tim will tell you, and my wall, there's a cover of a book. I am an international best-selling author. I'm signed to Wiley Publishing, and I wrote a book about Google, and my publisher point blank told me, because I was worried. I had some fear that I'm from the projects, so I don't have the perfect grammar and stuff like that. They're like, I don't give a shit if you could spell. We got editors for that. I don't care about this. Can you sell units? And they said to me the thing that changed my life, brother. They said, it's not the New York Times best written author. It's the New York Times best selling author. And so what you've got to do, if you want to sell books, you want to sell, records, or you want to sell cars, you need to build your audience. Tim, you're 100% correct. NADA says the highest closing ratio is from, prior customers, 65% closing ratio, highest gross profit. NADA also says that a service customer is 7 times as likely to purchase a vehicle from their service a car, which means repeat business and referrals is where all of it's at. When you first get into, Sebastian, when you first get into a dealership, most people don't have your story or your skills or your passion or your tenacity. So the average human being, right, has to live off the land of the dealership, phone ups, internet ups, walk-in ups, etc., until they could build their own book of business. But the most successful, the millionaire car salespeople out there, they don't eat at all. Tim is right. Off of the show, of the showroom or internet phones, they eat solely off of repeat customers and referrals. So you already have a jump start. You have a unique story. You have a differentiator. You have a personality. You have humor. When you put that all together, the next level is building up your platforms. You want to build your TikTok, your YouTube, your Facebook, your social media, your physical network. You want to go from transactional selling, which almost every other salesperson does, to relationship selling. That is what the holy grail for you should be. LA?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that, man. So I definitely want to hear about, how you're getting referrals from your TikTok, all these people that come in and buy cars from you. I mean, how are you generating more?
And we have, since we started my TikTok, we started with 100 followers. We're at 3,800. And this is a matter of days, 5 days.
Wow.
7 days. It went from 1 to 3 in 48 hours. So we are working on that. My Facebook following is I have 5,000 friends on Facebook and I don't know, 1,000 or 2,000 followers. I don't recall exactly, but it's all people that know me because they bought a broom. They're local people. And they're like, oh, I wish you were selling something else because I get this broom and I don't need another one for 2 or 3 months. So now it's like, hey, well, come and get a car. And who knows? Who knows where this is going to take me? I think Tim will agree with me that this is just a first step for me. If I can find a way to climb up and be able to sell more and make more and secure a future for my children, because those kids, they gotten used to eating 3 times a day. They want breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have to come up with it.
Absolutely, man. I know the feeling. I got a 13-year-old, so I totally understand where you come from. So this is excellent. All right. So, Sean, what other questions? Because I know you always got a ton of questions.
Absolutely. I would say, do you have any challenges? What are there any challenges that you have, in your new career at the dealership?
Yes, I hear good-looking women. I smell them, I hear them, but I can't see them.
Cool.
So, if there was an app that could describe them to me, that would be wonderful.
They got stuff.
That's another
They
question.
got it, he says.
Listen, that's another good question is what type of technology you use? Like LA's got a Braille pen. He uses his iPhone with the voiceover. Like, do you use any technology to help you with your day-to-day?
I have a computer with JAWS. I have my iPhone with voiceover. And I want to install, which I haven't told him yet, NVDA into one of the computers here at the dealership to be able to access Dealer Center and be able to learn that part of the sale, be able to input the information. Right now, there is someone always handy for me to hand the information to, and I can focus on socializing with the lady or with the guy I'm selling the car to, and then someone else will be inputting the data. But I want to do it myself. I do want to move out of the shadow of my colleagues, and they have all been very gracious. I mean, I cannot tell you, oh, this guy is a jerk, No, they've all bent over backwards to help me. But I want to be independent. It's part of my life, being independent.
I think that's awesome, man. And there are definitely apps. Like there's an app I use called Seeing AI. It's made by Microsoft, but you can put it on your iPhone because it does a lot of stuff. We're talking about light, colors, describing, just all kind of stuff, reading things. It does a lot, right? So I would definitely pick that one up if you haven't accessed that one. But here's the other thing, man. I don't want you to get away from what it is that you're doing, right? Again, have the talents. Yeah, I think you should learn how to input the information, but hire somebody to do it. You know what I'm saying? We just talked about how life is a team game. Do what you do best at, right? And allow other folks to do what they are really good at, right? You might find somebody who's really fast at entering the information. Let them do that part and you sell, man. I'm telling you, because that's how you're going to make the most amount of money. When you start focusing on things that slow you down and, kind of like trip up your process, and you're trying to listen to voiceover while you're at the same time trying to sell. I mean, I do it, right? I listen, because I'm licensed in insurance and investments, all that kind of good stuff, right? So I do that kind of stuff. But man, I'm telling you, it would be so awesome if other people would step up and be able to do certain things, and I can focus on what I do the best. So I definitely want you to learn those things so you can know how to do it. That's actually how I got so good and how I became the vice president and part owner of this company, is because literally there's nothing here outside of the CRM position. There's nothing that I haven't done, right? When it comes to, I'm the one who would pull the phone calls. I would listen to dealerships' phone calls and make sure that they sound really good. I would coach the people. I did HR, hiring, training, developing people, meaning going through resumes and trying to find the best automotive professional for a sales. Because here at Dealers Energy, that's what we do, right? We work with car dealers and things like that. So every aspect of the business, I've done it. And so now when I have other people who are doing that kind of stuff, I can coach them. Hey, here's what I would do in that situation, or here's how you can make that better. So I highly encourage you, man, learn that stuff, but stick to what you do, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna really help you to shine. Does that make sense?
Well, and I try. I mean, I'm trying to do what I'm best at. I mean, I would have put Randy Johnson to throw just curveballs when his 98 mile fastball was getting people out.
Exactly.
But I did love to hear when they were getting strike out with the slider. So it does. I'm an eavesdropper also here.
Yeah, that's
deals,
me.
People are talking. People are on the phone, and I'm just hanging on the hallway. I'm hanging on the hallway, and I don't mean to be intrusive, but I'm an eavesdropper, big time.
You sound like me. My wife said it all the time. She'd be like, "Stop listening to LA."
Hey,
I
Tim,
listen to everything.
Tim, you know what I want to share with you is that just business owner to business owner, one of the things that I find incredibly powerful about having LA on our team as a training company is it humbles people and it gets them to think in a different paradigm, because having LA being completely blind, jump on an airplane and fly all over the United States to not only train you, but to jump on the phones, do TOs, to go downstairs if the, or go out to the showroom and actually do a product presentation and actually sell a car. It's like, what excuse can you have when you have a blind guy come to your house and do all the shit that you're complaining about and you don't do? You know what I mean? So again, are you having that dynamic in the dealership? When you have someone like, Sebastian here that's making TikTok videos, that's doing this, doing that, and he's blind, what people would consider a handicap, he doesn't use that as an excuse or a crutch in any way, in spite of what somebody else might perceive as a limitation. He's doing so much. Is that inspiring to people? Is that changing the paradigm, with the other employees that are there, or does it not matter?
No, certainly. It absolutely does. In fact, the gentleman he's working with is a guy that I grew up with. And I have seen him proactively do things with a smile the last couple of weeks. And it really is cool to see. He's being a little bit modest in talking about his sister, because what he does understand, and we've talked about this, is when you recognize someone else's talent that is so incredible, I can sell that talent all day long, especially when I can't do it. And so when you see your sister, that if you've eaten one of these, yeah, they're amazing. How can you not sell this? And why would you give it away? When you think about other people's product that way, you don't discount it. I don't discount your hard work, your labor, what you do with your hands. I'm not discounting that. And I think he understood that and seeing how hard his sisters worked, because we had a longer conversation than what he's giving you right now. And I think we're kindred spirits in that like LA said, I absolutely understand getting other people to do things, not because I can't or that I'm better, because I know I'm not better. I know I'm not better at certain things. And I've never been a boss. I've always worked with people. I used to work with guys all the time that said they were the boss. We're not the boss. These guys all take off. I don't have a job. I can't do it all. I think we understand that. And I think Sebastian really understands his abilities. And he's done a pretty good job about getting things done, LA. Don't discount his ability to manage people.
Oh, not at all. I know how it goes.
For 2 weeks, it's been pretty cool to see. I think Doug's lost a couple pounds.
That's funny.
And inspiring, right? It's like he said, let's do
Very.
it. Let's get it done. Let's go, right?
Right now,
I love
yeah.
it.
What are we doing? That's right.
Mhm.
Tim, what do you think that Sebastian's potential is as far as like you said that your people average like 10 to 12 cars a month? What do you think within the first year that he's going to get to based on the trajectory and how different his approach to our industry is?
So I'm not certain what his thoughts are, but I'll be honest, I absolutely see him at a big new car store destroying it. Literally destroying it. He is unbelievable with people, letting him work their phones. There's nothing make me happier than to see him climb as high as he can in this business. Who says he can't be a dealer principal someday? I've worked with lots of guys, a lot of guys that did a lot of things they thought they couldn't. And this guy thinks he can do anything. Sky's kind of the limit. Where do I see him? I guess just continuing to climb within this industry if this is what he really wants to do. I think he can go as far as he wants.
All right, I got one last question over here for me, and then I've got to head out. Sebastian, you ever seen that movie Scent of a Woman?
Hoo-ha!
Here we go. So you know where I'm going with this. I got a question for you. Have you ever driven a car before?
Legally, I cannot answer that question.
I ain't the police, man. I ain't the FBI. I don't have no wires. I don't even know it's recorded. Now, fair enough. The reason why is LA. I've actually have like 3 acres of property. I've had LA driving quads. Like he was on the front. That's how close I am with him. Like I trust him. He opened up full throttle. One of our clients owns a Vanderhall dealership, and it's an independent dealership in Kansas City called Kansas City Vanderhall, which is Country Hill Motors. He drove a Vanderhall, like the dealer principal let him drive, like literally drive around in a contained area, but giving them commands and stuff like that. So again, I am so surprised at what we're all capable of as human beings, that we're not limited by our perceived limitations. We're only limited by our perception of what's possible. You agree with that, Sebastian?
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna try to make LA jealous here. In 2010, 5 people were elected to drive the Mustang, the 2010 Mustang before it came out. And we went off to the Ford testing grounds. It's a square mile of emptiness. And they put us with a passenger, and this passenger would just tell us when we were coming out to the fence. But
That is cool. Yes, indeed.
we made
Fire.
donuts backwards, forwards,
Yo, that is
getting
awesome.
the car to 100 miles per hour.
Sebastian, please tell me you've got video footage of that, because that shit would go viral. I mean, like
It was videotaped. Somebody should have it.
you've got to
I
find that
don't
video.
have access
I will
to
do.
it.
I will edit that for you for free. I mean, just out of I have a major video production company, so get me that footage and I will make you something fabulous, because that is hilarious, that is beautiful, that is interesting content. Having a fully blind person like driving a freaking Ford Mustang forwards, backwards, and hopefully only forwards and backwards, not sideways.
But I just think that's really cool, man. So yeah, no, I'm really excited to see exactly where your career is headed, man. And then listen, if there's anything that I can do, you already know, right? Listen, I'm a phone call, I'm a text message away, whatever I can do. It really doesn't matter. Even just having a conversation, right? Because sometimes, we still have those moments. We're still human beings. Most people think we're not, right? Like we're still human and we still got our moments.
We are.
Yeah. And so if there's any questions, any kind of software, any kind of ideas I can give you on different things that I've done, or even that I've seen someone else do or help them to do, I'm a resource for you, man. Definitely.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm a motivational speaker. Other than a car salesman, I'm a motivational speaker. I want to be a comedian, but I developed.
You want to be. You are a comedian. You're fucking funny as hell.
Right?
You want to be. I want to be tall. That shit ain't gonna happen. I'm only 5'5". You, my friend, are
You too?
No, you're already there. There's a difference. And by the way, I don't know if you know my background, but I'm actually in the highest levels in the world in public speaking. I'm what's called a CSP in the National Speakers Association, and I'm part of the $1 Million Speakers Group. There's literally only 99 people in the world in the NSA that make over $1 million a year. That are able to be part of this group. So if you ever need any advice with the NSA, I could get you hooked up with the National Speaker Association National, and we could find your local chapter. So LA can help you on LA stuff, but I'm a ninja my own level too on the public speaking and the motivation.
Hey, this is what I'm thinking, man. Here's the deal. So I'm a 2-time NADA speaker, right? What would it be like if you and I were to get together and do something for NADA?
Yes.
I think that would be crazy.
Beautiful.
And we could call it the blind leading the blind. I had to say it.
Y'all heard it here first on the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. Ideas are born. You understand what I'm saying? So when you come to NADA and you see it, you'll know you heard it first here on the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast.
Wait. Wifey's gonna get pissed at me. She's in the background giving me scowls like, you heard that from me. That was Karina Bradley's idea, the blind leading the blind. Karina Bradley, my wife, the most beautiful, sweetest, most understanding wife in the world. It was all her idea. All right, you can close your show now.
Cool stuff, guys. So any closing comments, guys? What do you want the automotive industry to know based on matter of fact, I want to go to Tim first. Tim, what do you want the automotive industry to know based on what happened with you and bringing Sebastian aboard and just that entire story?
I would say within the industry, I guess, don't hamstring yourself and not listen to any opportunity within the industry. I think, I don't know what normal is. We're all different, right? So it's just what individuals bring to the party. And I don't know. I've always been one to listen to people. I've always been one to give a second chance, just the same, and a first chance, because the only difference in me and most is I just never got caught.
That's good stuff, man. That's beautiful. All right, Sebastian.
Congratulate you two, honestly, coming from where you guys have come from. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Thank you.
Blessed
Thank
men.
you. I did get caught though, as you know, but
I understand. And here you are.
I didn't. So, Sebastian, break it down for us, man. Close us out. Let us know, what do you want? Because listen, this is the Millionaire Cars. We literally have hundreds and thousands of listeners all across, not just the United States, but I mean, we get a lot of people in Canada, a lot of folks in across seas in Europe. I mean, people listen to this podcast. So what do you want them to know about you, your situation, car sales, being blind? What do you want to let them know?
I'm the one and only blind car salesman in the state of Arizona. So if you need a car, come and get one from me. There is one thing that the governor and I have in common. There is only one of us in the state. I would totally motivate everyone to take advantage of every opportunity that you get. And even if the opportunity is disguising as calamity, it's an opportunity. If you go to jail, write a book.
That's it. You can't just stop right there, man. You got to really break it down to them. You give them some more examples. I love that. If you go to jail, write a daggone book. You can succeed. Give them some more.
Take advantage of your sight. Look at the trees. Look at the birds. Go find yourself a condor. I love to see one of those. I've never seen Jennifer Lopez's butt. I love to see one of those. So take advantage, full advantage. I think those of us who have the more enjoy the less, but those of us who have less enjoy the most.
Wow. Absolutely phenomenal stuff, man. So
thank you guys both.
100%. You guys have heard me say this all the time. Listen, don't allow the things that you can't do to distract from the things that you can do. You got to take advantage of every opportunity out there. We always talk about there's only 86,400 seconds in a day. Take advantage of the time you've been given, because there's some people who don't get the time. Take advantage of your sight. Take advantage of all of the knowledge that you have. Take advantage of the people around you in a positive way, I mean. So there's so many different things you can do, man. I always say you are the average of the 5 people who you spend the most time with. And you've just been spending time with Mr. Tim Brown, my man Sebastian, L.A. Williams, Mr. Sean V. Bradley. It's your turn. Go out there and be a millionaire car salesman. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
Take care.
So there you have it,
Thank you.
the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. This podcast comes to you every week from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you have a question about the show or would like the chance to become a guest, feel free to contact us directly at 856-546-2440 or email us at millionairecarsalesman@gmail.com. This program is a presentation of Synergy Records, produced by Tiana Mick and L.A. Williams. Production and engineering by L.A. Williams. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is hosted every week by L.A. Williams and the Millionaire Car Salesman himself, Sean V. Bradley. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast can be found everywhere, so please don't forget to review, subscribe to, and share the show. Thanks for listening to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, and remember, where I'm from, money provides options. If you enjoyed this podcast, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave us a review. Let some other folks know about it. Oh, and don't forget to join the Millionaire Car Salesman group on Facebook. We'll see you there.